Here with Dane Phillips on the catch of the day. And Dane, you had a pretty decent day yesterday, a home run, and in a game that netted 15 hits for your squad, 3 home runs between the two teams. You probably hit the longest shot, and as far as your offense, it's really coming along, but defensively, I think we noticed a huge difference yesterday. Can you talk about the progression of your catching just in the last 5 games, 6 games?
Well, catching-wise, I just needed to get in there and get a little bit more comfortable. In the spring ball, I didn't get to catch quite as much as I like, but, now I'm starting to get back in the rhythm, get back in the groove, and I think things are going to get even better on the defensive side of things.
You were an everyday starter at Oklahoma State, but a couple times a little bit at DH and a little bit at catcher. How would you rate your college season coming into Chatham?
I had an okay college season. I got first team Big 12 for DH, but I really could have done a lot better. And then defensively, I actually thought I did really well in school ball. So it was some mixed feelings. I could have done a lot better, hit for a little more power, but overall it was an okay year at best.
And we're through the first 1 quarter now of the schedule. How would you rate how this team is doing, regardless of their record, 4-6-1 right now?
Well, I'll tell you, this team's going to have a really good year this year. We had a lot of our losses came early whenever guys were coming in, guys were leaving, and now that we've got our crew, I think we're really going to get in our stride and have a great season, and things are looking bright.
Dane, when you got off the bus yesterday or rode home with your host family, did the magnitude of Schiff's 400th win kind of resonate?
Oh, yeah, we all wanted to give Schiff his 400th win. We preferably would have been at home the game before that, but, whenever we could would be nice. So, we were just glad that we could get him that 400th win, get him over that milestone, and hopefully give him a lot more wins this season.
Any added pressure with a 3-catcher system? I know Sean Riley and JT Watkins are also fighting for time behind the dish. Does that make you want to work any harder on your defense, or is it just business as usual?
Well, that's just business as usual. I'm going to do my work regardless of anything. If I was catching every game all summer or if I'm on a rotation, I'm going to work hard no matter what, and I'm going to do the best I can every game to help our team win.
Dane, when you think about the rest of the schedule coming up, team was right around 500 and then went on a 3-game skid. What do you attribute that to, and what have you done to correct that as a team, putting up 10 runs yesterday?
The 3-game skid, we just made a lot of stupid mistakes, made a lot of errors, a lot of base running mistakes, and those are pretty easy fixes. So in these next couple games, we're just going to try to play error-free ball and run the base as well and get clutch hits and hopefully come out on top every game.
Last night at YD, one aspect that was very pronounced in the game was just your interaction with Scott Winterburn, the pitching coach. A lot back and forth between the two of you, and a lot of pitchers shaking you off, sometimes you looking at Scott and looking back at Scott. Can you talk about your relationship with Scott as well as with the pitchers that you worked with last night?
Well, my relationship with Scott is very good. We do extra work every day on catching, on calling, we just talk about the game basically. And, yesterday, Buck Farmer, he didn't like some of the pitches Scott was calling, but, it is what it is, and he wanted to throw what he wanted to throw. So, I talked to Scott about the game, and hopefully the next game I catch will be a lot better.
Dane, that's another aspect of having 3 catchers on the squad, and 3 catchers that you're not used to working with, one out of the Patriot League, and then Sean. Can you talk about what maybe you've taught them and what they've taught you as far as being a defensive catcher just through the first quarter of the schedule?
Well, what they've taught me is some extra couple drills that I could do to, just get a little quicker, a little softer and everything. And hopefully what I've tried to teach them is to just, have an intensity about the game and a pride about the game and to just go out and play every day.
All right, Dane, and before we wrap up, what's one thing baseball-wise that a lot of people don't know about you that they should?
Let's see. One thing they should know about me is one time I was a pitcher, and I struck out one person in one game, and that's the best I ever threw. I was a terrible pitcher, the worst you've ever seen.
Good knowledge. That's Dane Phillips. My name is Chris Fitzgerald. Thanks for tuning in on the Catch of the Day on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.